Alright, it's time for Escoffier's story quest treasured above all. I think she's an interesting character based on like the tail is an interesting touch, the fact that she's kind of like Gordon Ramsay inspired. Um I looked up a little bit about the real life Escoffier's story, who was an actual chef, Auguste Escoffier. I'm probably gonna butcher all the French. I'm so sorry. But his story is kind of interesting. He is a world-renowned chef that codified the five mother sauces in French cuisine, which is really interesting. He's also well known for a lot of celebrity dishes as well. Like he made certain dishes for very famous people, obviously. Which a lot of them actually are based off of like ice cream or like sorbets and stuff like that. One of them being the Peche Melba, which honored an Australian singer, which is basically just peaches and raspberry sauce with vanilla ice cream. It's so interesting that a lot of his most famous dishes from his first location that he's well known for, which was the Savoy, which is a hotel, were actually a lot of ice cream dishes. He also did chicken dishes as well as steak dishes, but a lot of these are like or ice cream or like sweets, which is really interesting. Maybe that was the reason why Escoffier in Genshin is a cryo character, and then they just added the whole ice sculpture stuff in order to make it, a little bit more obvious that she can create ice and stuff. But one of the more interesting things about the real life Escoffier is that he was convicted of fraud. Apparently, in the original hotel that he was working at, the one that made him like super famous, the Savoy, he and three other managers of the Savoy were charged for gross negligence and breaches of duty and mismanagement, is what the direct quote says. Apparently, he confessed to taking kickbacks from the hotel's food suppliers. So basically what he did was order a certain amount of items, and then he would take a bribe to make them seem like they were getting a short count. So like they would get less than what the hotel originally ordered. And then he pocketed the money. Apparently, he got up to around like 16,000 pounds in that time period. It's probably a lot more due to like inflation if you calculate for today's currency. But he actually only had to settle around 500 pounds of it, which is crazy to me. But he ended up still working at different hotels after he got charged of fraud from that original hotel. He ended up working at the Ritz and the Carlton hotels, and he served a lot of very famous figures at that time as well, but not as much as in the Savoy from what I can see. The most interesting part about this is that he's also military trained, which tied into how he managed like his chefs like in the kitchen, like today's style of like you have to do this in order to be in the kitchen, like for high dining kind of thing. So he was definitely a mixed bag character for sure. He was also incredibly sexist apparently as well. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to translate the real life world of Escoffier into the game character Escoffier. I don't think they're gonna do a one-to-one, honestly, because I don't think a lot of people know about the origins of haute cuisine and all these different French cooking styles. Like, I certainly didn't before looking into a lot of this. I feel like a lot of people are gonna Genshin's Escoffier to being a mishmash, a bunch of celebrity chefs. Like, I'm assuming like fucking, I don't know, Gordon Ramsay is definitely one that's like referenced with a bunch of her emotes. I'm gonna pull out, I don't know, Bobby Flay, maybe like Julia Child. It'd be interesting if like Guy Fieri showed up as a part of her inspiration, but I guess we'll see. This is a lot of research that technically might not even make it into the actual like story quest itself, but it's kind of interesting, like to me personally. So I guess we'll see what her story quest is all about. Treasured above all, Escoffier's story quest. A cake is a castle, daubed in paint and sculpted into a monument to genius. A cherry is a crown, crystalline and exquisite, a jewel festooning an extraordinary deed. When the shadow of its hold brilliance do the ordinary mortals struggle. The greater the yearning, the greater the regrets. The more besets with longing, the further one drifts. That description is so fanfiction-y. I don't know why. Someone used way too many words, and my little smooth brain is not working right now.
Huh? Is that Navia over there? Oh, it's been a while. Let's go say hi.
It has been. Also, I was standing outside the Hotel de Board this entire time. I didn't realize it was going to immediately trigger. But Navia seems to be keeping an eye on something in front of the Hotel de Board, allegedly. What is said something? Oh.
Hey, Navia! What you up to?
Apparently she's reading the paper.
Shh.
Oh, she's spying on people. Never mind. Why the secrecy?
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Board name!
Oh, well, we're starting off with that. All right, drama, what's going on?
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
I'm sorry, Monica's not in it. She's like, I guess, fine. I'm getting kicked out. Like, I'm so sorry, but like, it doesn't feel like she's being kicked out. It really feels like, oh no, I did a thing. Oh no, I can't believe my eyes. I'm so sorry.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack.
Oh,
you
damn.
At least hear her out.
Damn, okay, Paimon, getting into messes you don't even have any involvement with?
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Oh! She fucking blew your cover, bro. Sorry about that.
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Board doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Okay, but like, if she's your customer, that might not be a good idea.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Fermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
Did you just kick her out?
Huh? But you said I shouldn't come back until...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on, we have work to do!
Is she good? Like, what is happening, bro?
Wow, what a horrible person.
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again.
It's not the first time in the Genshin fandom, but, so who was that?
Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
It's almost like workplace compensation is very important, and making sure that your employees have health insurance is also really important.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
And then Paimon fucking blew your cover, bro. So you were waiting for Savannah to leave, and then you were gonna approach Monica?
Oh, shoot. It all makes sense now. Sorry. Paimon should have thunk before she spoke. Did Paimon ruin everything?
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage.
Girly Pop, you are the brightest fucking, like, person in this entire area. Like, the hat, dramatic. The fit, dramatic. The umbrella, dramatic. Like, you cannot do espionage to save your life. You look nothing like an NPC. Either way, Savannah's seen you now, so you probably won't get another chance.
Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan.
Can't you get, like, Charlotte to help you? I feel like Charlotte would at least know how to do journalistic espionage.
Paimon will join you, because this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Yeah, and I don't get a choice because I'm stuck to Paimon right now.
Guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper feast.
I would take your cooking over any hotel's cooking any day, Navia.
A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Do the wrappers have coatings on it?
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
Paimon, don't make the things more difficult for her. Thank you for the gift. I feel like Monica wrote some shit down on the candy wrappers and then retied it up so that they can have a message.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
Which means they're totally gonna ignore that.
A little highly strung, huh?
Looks like with Savannah in the kitchen, even the waiting staff are on edge. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have friends who are waiting staff and they get so much more shit sometimes than the cooking staff. Not to like insult any line cooks or anything, but like, bro, you gotta deal with customers and you gotta deal with the chef in the back. Like, I'm sorry, girly pop.
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Probably because big name or something like that, or they didn't have enough people.
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Unless it's poisoned. Ah, yes, never underestimate Navia's affinity for sweets.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in. Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper.
I told y'all.
Find Escoffier.
Okay, treasured above all. Find Escoffier? And do
Escoffier?
what?
Could this mean...
And then do what?
Huh? You know that name, Navia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
That's kind of convenient that we got, you know, Navia saying, oh yeah, there's someone new that joined. Her name is Cuts Off. Suddenly, Escoffier joins the chat. Anyway.
Paimon doesn't see Monica and Savannah anywhere. Guess they went back to the kitchen?
We'll only complicate things even more if we go looking for them now. Let's head to the Fleuve Cendre.
Oh, that's so interesting. I had no idea that you could come in here and it'd give you different dialogue.
So, who is this Escoffier anyway?
The cat, allegedly, since we're pointing the camera at it.
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Bourg, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Bourg and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Bour's history. After the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Bourg. That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Bourg was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu.
They were adding drugs! Someone put cocaine in the cake!
But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility, and she was sent to the fortress of Meripede.
Interesting. Okay, so this is immediately where the history of Augusta Escoffier separates from this Escoffier, because I don't think the historical Escoffier would have taken responsibility for this specifically.
The fortress of Meripede?
That's called jail. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was probably just formality. We got sent here just for eating someone else's cake.
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Bro doesn't even go here anymore. Would she even want to? I mean, if she wants to take responsibility for her old staff, then I guess, but...
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out. It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove!
Oh. You only cooked that for 3.5 minutes? That's kind of nasty, actually.
You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
That's a fucking child, bro.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
How has the Hotel de Bourg made it this far?
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
That child sounds kind of old. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That sounds like a grown-ass man. The look from Aether is crazy.
Excuse us, we're...
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
Okay. Someone's food magically disappeared on this area.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef.
She didn't want to go back to the Hotel de Bourg?
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bourg doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Honestly, as you should. I do not trust any institution that doesn't let their employees take their food home. I'm sorry. Like, as someone who has worked in food industry before, the worst places that you can work at are places that don't allow you to take food home and waste the food and make you throw it out. That's the worst kind of place to be in.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh. And tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
So she's a little bit soon today, but did I hear a British accent?
Fiamma. That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
Girly Pop. I know you're a little bit dumb, but also she just said it last scene.
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad,
So Hilaire had to take up the position to get money. Okay.
he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Aw, how soon today of her?
Hey, I heard that, Navia. I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
She's from Side Global, right? Hold on. Escoffier, voice actor. Oh, okay, so her accent is actually supposed to be Scottish. All right. She was Lumi in Wuthering Waves, and her voice actor is Emily Cass. I kind of wish they kept her accent. That's like the one thing I really wish Genshin would take from Wuthering Waves, like for sure. Let your voice actors speak in their native accents. Like, especially if they specialize in certain accents. Like, I would have loved a very, like, Scottish Escoffier. I know, like, Fontaine is based in France and all this other stuff, but, like, it'd be so interesting to have new vocal talent with different accents in this area. Like, that would have been so cool. And it's like, you can kind of tell she's trying to hide that Scottish accent, but it does slip out every once in a while.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, so you know us already. I'll skip the introduction then. We are here to talk about Savannah.
Since Hilaire is working for you, you must be aware of the situation with Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid, even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
Well, at least she's self-conscious. I'm gonna just take his lines, apparently. At least she's self-aware.
Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamma and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
You give Monica's candy wrapper to Escoffier.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Escoffier?
I can't believe her! Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe.
When she gets really angry, the accent starts to come out more.
Unbelievable! I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
It's so funny how she walked off.
Wait, so now she's
Oh, look at her. Well, whatever the reason she came up with, at least she's convinced herself to go have a conversation.
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is Monica good? Like, what's happening? Bro ran off. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
Okay, Monica.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
Oh my god, Monica.
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What the hell is that?
Lumiline? What's that?
I'm gonna stop taking Paimon's lines, Jesus.
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute.
A new
Produced
drug?
from an extract of the lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
So they created Adderall?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
Huh, okay, so it's kind of like Adderall, kind of like those sour berries that like make things turn sweet. That's like the only thing I can think of, honestly.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guards' list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is
Also,
it?
Fried chefs are pretty good at what they do. I do not want to handle hot oil, ever.
Oh, the Fleuve Cendra, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Maybe don't say that, homie. Not in front of, in the restaurant that you're going to leave.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
Well, yes.
No, chef.
So you do remember who's boss? Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job.
Okay.
You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
She didn't even do anything. Like, this feels like compensation for the fact that you have a fragile ego. Like,
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
maybe we should give them some space.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna back out now.
Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Why is this guy aggressively French? What?
Huh? Fan Agem?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
Sounds like we're in for a history lesson.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
Uh-huh. And no one could have thought of that idea from the entire, 6 or 7 people that were in this room besides him?
According to legend, the founders of Hôtel de Bord, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Yeah.
Well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
Gee, I wonder who the bouquet is currently on.
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Thought so. There's your answer, Paimon.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hôtel de Bord anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savannah, any objections?
Exhibition. Huh. No. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
Oh.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Bord to me.
The what?
What? The Codex de Bord?
Please, can we stop using random-ass words and then give me context?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Bord.
But we have sparkles for some reason. Okay, why do they not just print another one?
It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. and only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Boer have the right to read it.
Why did they not give it to Savannah when she became a head chef?
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean.
I don't, actually.
I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original codex?
No, why are you so obsessed with the original codex, though? Like, it's gonna be the same thing. It's just one has older paper.
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they?
Yeah, but you also sound like a huge dick.
And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
I need to know what's good with you, because the entire time we've been here, you sound like you have no reason to have this much of a gripe with Escoffier, other than the fact that she was the former head chef, and also, maybe, I don't know, she felt like she couldn't live up to Escoffier's standards, and then there's this whole arc of her being like, oh, I must become like Escoffier in order for me to be actually as good as Escoffier, which is never actually the case, but you know.
You sound surprisingly confident.
I cannot believe you're going along with this.
All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
And you totally, like, glossed over half
it'll
the
be
other
fine.
stuff.
Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
Okay.
I can't believe I got to witness that firsthand. I only stopped by here for a quick meal. I definitely got my Mora's worth today.
Bro got dinner and a show for sure.
I do apologize. This whole ordeal reflects rather poorly on us.
Aren't you the boss?
I'm afraid it's not quite that simple. The Hotel de Boer runs as more of a partnership, you see. It was founded by two friends, Modeste and Savelli, and it's been that way ever since. So, while I am technically Savannah's boss, it's not really my place to interfere with the business of the kitchen.
To be fair, a lot of like hotels don't actually like do a lot of the work that their kitchens do. Like their kitchen is usually a separate company anyway.
To be perfectly honest with you, that's part of the reason why I suggested a cooking contest. If Escoffier wins, it would be the perfect opportunity for her to talk some sense into Savannah. Or, of course, if she wanted to return, then... But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Whatever the outcome, this contest will hopefully serve as a turning point for us. I must say, Savannah surprised me with her confidence. Does she really believe she can best Escoffier in the kitchen? I thought she was just blowing off steam when she first raised the idea to me.
I mean, maybe she has the confidence now, you know?
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Macarons are supposed to have a lot of sugar in them.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
She told her to shut the fuck up. So anyway, what's this Codex de Board she's obsessed with?
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene.
Which is also a reference to the original Auguste Escoffier. He has a very popular cookbook, if I remember correctly.
For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures.
Drugs.
So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime.
Okay.
And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
I don't know if that is specifically because ZZZ just had a reference to this and had the almost exact same wording one-to-one. But Hoyoverse is kind of Hoyoversing right now.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Well, it depends on who you're talking about, because some people who really like their old-fashioned, cooking styles will want to stick to that.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why, though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about.
Until now, because that's kind of an important story point, I'm assuming.
So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank for that.
Supply and demand, I mean, it works.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
I'd still want to try it, hell.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows? Maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hôtel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Well, it depends, because lost media is very, very common.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the Codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Boer is the true head chef.
Well,
What kind of anime
it was
shit?
clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gato do the talking.
What does that mean? Also, what if she took so many drugs that, like, maybe she had a change of heart? I don't fucking know. I'm making shit up here.
It means vesting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
Well, you don't mince words.
However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Boer is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Paimon, I don't think you have been cooking last time.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
No. Honestly, if this were me, like me personally, I would have backed out by now, because you know how hard line cooks have it? Man, hell no. But I guess this is Aether, so bring it on.
Count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. All right, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
Oh god, my knife skills are atrocious, bro. I should learn better knife skills, honestly. Show Escoffier your knife skills. Use normal attacks to cut the fruit. It seems she will collect the slices and process them into some sublime substance. What? That
I've always
sounds
called
so
it
gross.
chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
It is the same thing.
Oh, no. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
I should have waited for the voice lines to go.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
I mean, that's actually not that hard.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
We're making juice?
A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Display your mastery with the cold press. Why is that a sentence? Tap your elemental skill to accelerate the cold press's progress and use normal attacks to let it do its work. It seems like the special substance extracted from the plants might come in handy.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool. Not weird.
This is a really big juice press. I'm not even gonna lie to
An
you.
inspired melange! Ha!
So what, I have to keep pressing E or something? Like, tap the
device
elemental
isn't
skill
cold
and
enough
use
yet.
normal
I
attacks.
need
Okay.
to reduce the temperature.
That work? Am I cold pressing it?
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I've processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Oh, they gave her the little heart emotes from the, not the story quest, but the hangouts.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
Learn at Escoffier's feet and master her precision cooking. The flavorings you got from her multifunctional food processor can adjust the flavor profile of the dish. Strike a balance between fruity flavors and floral flavors to adjust said flavor profile and make a delicious dish. I prefer fruity flavors, but okay.
Slowly and carefully. Not a drop too much and not a drop too little.
Okay, balance the flavors. Tap on a flavoring or drag it out to add to the dish. So we want more floral? Oh god, I can do math. 5. And then 1. Yeah, math! Basic math understanding. We made dough? What? Okay, we made
And voila! Now it's your turn.
Okay, we made a cold compress, or a juice compress, and then made it into a dough? With Escoffier's guidance, everyone completes the flavoring process.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try.
All thanks to my excellent teacher, I guess I treated it like an adventurous puzzle, and almost like there were 3 different menus for instructions.
Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. All right, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score.
Final score? I don't know what this hotel cooks, actually.
That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
Okay, so submit dishes from Hotel de Board.
How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most delicious thing on the menu.
What? Macarons, which I'm assuming Navia's gonna do. There's delicious il flattone. Wooden nor... that's potatoes. That's all I can read. The thing that Nouvelette really likes. Tomatoes. I don't know. All these are fucking delicious. I remember reading something about one of his specialty dishes, or at least the Auguste Escoffier's specialty dishes to be a foie gras. So here you go. Escoffier's face lights up as you present your finished dish.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
I don't know what the difference is, like what you submit.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to le food.
Le food is crazy.
6 points.
Out of...
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass.
That's 6 out of 100.
Oh. Well... What? Well... Not the Aether smirk!
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it.
Listen, I'll consume more food than create it any day.
By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Okay, coming from someone who has been trained in music, people do actually think that, which is really, really stupid.
Aww.
Me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
How much sugar were you putting in those macaroons, actually?
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. Oh, 6 points.
Aw,
Aw, Navia! Yikes, she's a harsh judge.
Now to the final dish.
So, what do you think?
This is our last hope.
8 points.
Well, it's better than the other ones.
Darn, that's barely higher than what we got.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation.
Oh, you know what? Presentation's part of the meal. She has the cooking mama face. Oh my god, that's so funny.
I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
Huh? How did you pull that off?
Because I cook all the time, and I'm special, and I'm the main character. It's all that practice from cooking for you, Paimon.
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen.
It's almost like we can't tell what it is because we had to pick one, and there's forever gonna be a cloche on top of it.
I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
Chef Escoffier,
Huh?
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bourg, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
I do appreciate that if this is supposed to be a slightly older child, then they have like a slightly older child voice. But every time I look at this specific model, I think of just like the little kid anime voice, and it's not matching up right now.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Bro's cooked under Escoffier, so probably.
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Oh, you don't look so good, homie. Are you okay?
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Are you sure you're up to the task, Vermin? Because, your breathing is concerning me.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. I know I've been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I hope so.
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bourg?
I have not, but I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now.
Okay. And you go away from the kitchen, though? All right. A knife.
Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
Oh, that's not great.
What do you call this, Firma?
Oh, no.
I can't seem to grip my knife.
It's the trauma.
Do it again! Again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Oh,
Monica, when did you get here?
I didn't even notice you arrive.
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have stood up for you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it! In the trash now!
That's such a waste of food.
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Those all look delicious, though. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Do it again! Do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out or get out of my kitchen!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Oh, man. That must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
Yeah, someone for sure.
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then, well, this is the first chance I got.
You do this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
All right, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's all right.
It would have
I've
been the
made up
safer
my
for them all.
mind. But the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Firma. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
Well, I hope you're right, because otherwise you're gonna lose your employment for this.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Professional chefs can make mistakes, Paimon.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre. and I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
Oh?
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
Well, I can help cook. It'll be good practice for the contest.
All right, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives.
Escoffier treats everyone to a spectacular feast. Escoffier opted for a huge variety of dishes. Thankfully, both of us were skilled enough that even though it was our first time working together, we had a great rapport. Okay, so at least you guys can work together well.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
She dished out plenty of praise and taught me an awful lot too. The time seemed to pass by.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontainian cuisine could be this good.
But is Navia passed the fuck out?
I wish I could eat that all over again. It's not often that Escoffier goes all out like this. And it's all because of you, Traveler.
She is gone. She is passed out. Oh my god.
So, this is what Chef Escoffier is truly capable of.
That's so funny.
Wow. I don't know if I'll ever be able to cook as good as that.
Oh, I thought I was gonna talk to this guy. I guess not. I guess not. Okay. I guess I can't talk to anyone else. Damn. Where's Escoffier actually? Is she like behind somewhere? Am I just not seeing it?
Finally on the right path.
She out. Oh, she's just outside.
Why, Savannah? Why?
What are you up to aside from, like, being sad about Savannah?
Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her hands on it. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modeste's adventuring phase. And most of it's not even legible anymore. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing.
For her, it's probably not about how useful it is and more an issue of the head chef's pride.
Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all this effort just to make a point.
Were you two friends?
We were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief.
Okay, but just because you're a good chef doesn't mean you're a good manager, though. Like, management skills and cooking skills are two entirely different things. It sounds like you feel partly responsible.
Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex.
Speaking of Modeste, didn't he have a falling out with someone as well? I'm assuming it's the best friend because that tends to be what happens in narratives.
Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savelli. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured.
So what happened to them ultimately?
Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it. They neither had a decisive split nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story just came to an end.
It's weird because it sounds like there's missing information. Like, yeah, he died of acute illness, but like, they never, like, I don't know, like, he never mourned over him or anything like that. Or like, it sounds like low-key the acute illness was from like a poisoning or something, which I don't think they would go down that case. And maybe it ties into the other, like the whole drug situation very, very earlier on, but I don't know.
One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends.
Well, I don't think it's true because people like to gossip in Fontaine, as in other parts of the IRL world.
Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut.
She has a heart on her hand, okay. With me on the team, there's no way we can lose.
Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow, then. You better bring your A game.
I'll try my best.
Let's hope that Savannah isn't all sizzle and no steak. After all the work we've put in, it would kind of be a shame if tomorrow was a complete cakewalk.
At least she wants some competition, I guess. You guys say anything else? And Navia passed out and died somewhere.
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Oh,
Wait,
they
seriously?
gossiped.
Escoffier in a cooking contest? Now that I've got to see.
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
Why not? Because you gotta claim your place. I guess. I don't know.
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hôtel de Bord and to this most exciting of cooking contests.
I suddenly had flashbacks back to that really, really old Guoba event where, like, it was about the stove god and everything like that, and then it got revealed that Guoba was actually a god. This is the exact same setup, I swear to God. It's just more French now.
Savannah, I brought the original copy of the codex you asked for.
Monica?
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label.
Okay, that's pretty fair.
The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me.
Oh,
Getting a seat on the
he's a
judging
judge?
panel is a pretty sweet deal.
You know what? Good for him.
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hôtel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Oh, Gâteau de Bord Layer 1. Complete the objective by using the minimum amount of flavorings. Okay, let me read that, homie. Make some Gâteau de Bord using Escoffier's patented precision cooking. You can start the flavoring process at the seasoning table after obtaining flavorings from the cutting board and the cold press. Both flavoring types must be added in sufficient amounts to ensure richness of flavor. Add enough of both before aiming to balance the flavors out, and this dish is a wrap.
Monica, Traveler, even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse, Gaspard, get to work! Do not disappoint me.
I have so many fruit flavors.
Looks like our two head chefs are...
I don't have shit to balance this, bro. What do I do? I can't balance flavors if I only have fruit. Can I get literally anything else? Can I get a floral? Homie. Add at least 1 serving of floral seasoning, but I don't have floral seasoning. All I have is fucking fruit, bro. Aether, help me, Aether. Is there another table? Oh, the cold press.
A little
E, and then I have to do this, right?
That should be enough flavoring.
Okay.
Now hurry up and bow.
Someone was definitely yelling at me through the screen, saying I fucked up I should have been using the cold press. This feels like, you know when you make poffins in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl? It's kind of like that.
Traveler!
Okay, we got the first one. This cake looks delicious. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like... Layer 2, make the next layer of the cake. Sure. I'm gonna chop so many fruits. At least 2 servings of fruity flavoring, at least 1 serving of floral. Okay. So I need to overdo it by like a certain amount. I'm assuming like 6. And then I'm gonna make 4. And then I can do a cold press.
Alphonse! What are you playing at? That's not how I taught you to do it! Stop horsing around and do it again!
Yes, chef!
Okay, I got 6. And then 6. Done. Simple, basic math. Something I actually, for once in my life, can do.
So, what do you think?
It looks orange. That's all I know for now. Like, what type of cake is this? It looks like a cheesecake. Low-key, with like a passion fruit marmalade. Or like an orange marmalade. I feel like it's bull fruit, because it's like, you know, that's what they have in Fontaine, but... Man, I want a passion fruit cheesecake now. That'd be delicious. Can I, like, help them? Like, do you guys... Are you guys good? Like, here, I'll give you this. Does this help you at all?
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on Savannah's progress.
Let's do 5, and then I need 2 florals, so...
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
Enough!
1?
Useless! Both of you, make like an egg and beat it! I'll do it myself.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, do I not get 1?
Is Savannah serious? Can she really make up for lost time working alone?
Can I do... I need 2 of these, right? Put 6, and then balance it with a... I don't have a 3. Hold on. I get a 3? I get a 3?
Yeah!
Oh my god. Wait, are they even in odd numbers? Oh wait, no, you get an odd number. Can I get a 3? What is this gotcha fucking apple shit? I've gotten 3 apples before. Oh, okay, fine. I do 6 and a 4, I think.
A dash of frosting.
I do 5 and then a 2? There you go.
Stay calm, Escoffier. There has to be a way to balance the flavors. Just think.
Just think and do basic math.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
That is the smallest fucking tin on top. Also, where did we get the plate sizes for this, though? Like, that's a big-ass cake.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg.
Yay. Use your elemental skill to complete your work. Oh.
Goose on the loose.
What did that do? Suddenly add toppings. Okay. That was good, though. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That went just as I expected.
Why does this look like an Apex cutscene for some reason?
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make gâteau de bois.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10!
Okay.
Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Oh, okay.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this aroma is a delight to the senses.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in.
Watch it be bad, though.
I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place. Who made this?
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Watch the bad one be ours, though. Maybe it's because of her poor teamwork or she spent half the time berating her staff. I mean, it could be both.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but no way is she this sloppy.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest. Now, all that remains is to turn the plate over and reveal the chef's name underneath.
What? It's Savannah?
No, that's impossible.
Well, that I'm not surprised by.
Hey, Savannah! You cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that.
You think someone used the drug?
It was Vanishem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh, or maybe her assistants let the team down.
You take that back!
Judges, we demand a rematch.
Did you spike the cake, bro?
That's enough. What's done is done. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong and however it happened, I should have spotted it. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over and I won. That means you owe me the Codex, and I owe you nothing.
She gave you the Codex. You don't have to continue to be a bitch, like...
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done. But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other unfinished business you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss, just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
Ooh, I know what I'm doing. I don't need your advice.
Okay.
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Aw.
Escoffier!
The Codex de Boer! Finally. Now, at long last, I will succeed.
Succeed at what?
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It's just a book. Like, I don't understand what the important is other than it's the original copy.
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. I'm already over it. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. That's mission accomplished for the Spina. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
But Escoffier... Privately, I'm sure she's devastated, but what's done is done. But also, like, the fact that she was just like, okay, I'm not going to reveal what you did in order for everything to happen, you know? Like, she's honestly taking the high road for all of this, but at the same time, it's just like, I never really understood why the fucking Hotel de Boer's cookbook, like, was so important in the first place. Like, I get it, it's an original copy, it has his notes and stuff. Like, maybe Savannah really wants to find out this secret ingredient and then maybe she'll feel accomplished as a chef. But, like, right now, it really just feels like Savannah is just compensating for the fact that she can't live up to Escoffier's standards or something.
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Oh, and she's dead.
Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
Savannah passes out after reading through the original codex.
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
But why? Why would she do that?
Our best guess is she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it is.
Yep.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she asked.
One of you was over on our team and conveniently came down when we were suddenly looking for chefs. So I wouldn't be surprised if Monica had something to do with being behind why it tasted like ass.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.
Like, it's not that hard to put the pieces together, my guys. Like, Ro is dead.
Well, how is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad? I made sure the taste tested before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
Me, I'm the traitor.
I'm sorry. I was forced into it. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans. There's no need to hide it.
Like, are your family being held by, like, treasure hoarders or something like that? Like, what's going on? Like, like, if she well, I'm assuming, right, because Savannah's her boss. Like, she would definitely threaten unemployment. So maybe she, like, really needs this job and, like, she can't lose it.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Oh, so that's why you were so adamant about it not being Escoffier's fault.
Food safety. Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going to jail. But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you didn't?
And so what? You and Savannah would have probably both been held accountable, right? If both of you were on duty that day and both of you didn't check, wouldn't she also lose employment at this establishment? Like,
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail, it made me freeze up with fear. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip-up?
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer. This wasn't the only factor. So you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that. Any more than you need to add butter when you're pan-searing foie gras.
You mean... you forgive me?
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from. Sure, you've made mistakes, but now's the time to fix them. Understood?
Understood.
Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to blackmail?
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to back them up, though.
Ugh. What happened to me?
You passed the fuck out.
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
You mean the Gâteau de Bourg? Oh, so maybe she wants to find out what made Escoffier, like, make such a good Gâteau de Bourg, but then she thinks it was the Codex, but in actuality, it's just Escoffier paying attention to details.
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night, determined to match Escoffier's version.
but something's always slightly off every time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought, though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier left.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
She thought that the codex from Escoffier was a fake.
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once. It overwhelmed her, and she passed out.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, how come it tasted different? She might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one of those times.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a league of their own.
It could also be because she has a cryovision and she uses it during the process. She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
So she's just tired of living in her shadow. Get your hand on the codex no matter what it takes.
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't believe in yourself, at least believe in me. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
So you let the Lumen lean into the kitchen?
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe I'm the problem.
Damn. The realization scene is good. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone yet. Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk everything out tomorrow.
In that case, I'll go and update for Ma and his family. I wonder what he'll make of all this.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
Sure. Let's go.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a sweet treat when I get back home.
All we did was eat cake today, bro. Like...
Oh, nice! Macarons? Or are you gonna switch it up this time?
What is it?
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose?
I have no idea anything about it, except that you keep saying things about it.
Every year, they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home.
Oh, the Nouvelle
There's
goose.
always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock. Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut above the rest, a model of perfection. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing. Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place. So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them.
Ooh, okay, we got real heavy, real fucking fast. Is this about you and Savannah? And is this maybe a resignation for Dalway? I don't know. Maybe this is just like Dalway being like, I want to do other projects and I want to work on them, so I need to let other people take the reins for like other games. I don't know, but if we hear a resignation from Dalway anytime soon, I would not be surprised that this was the first sign for it.
I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius. Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact same dish. Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. But these are all variables that can be accounted for with time and practice.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness.
I don't know if you're right, but I think it's a great thing to believe in. I totally agree with her, though. Like, personally, I don't think, like, the idea of being a genius is this, like, marker of, like, oh, you can be anything that you want to be, and, like, if once you're born this way, you can do immense things. Like, no, there's a lot of people in life, like, who may not have started out with certain crafts, and they eventually get a lot better at doing the thing that they want to do. Like, I don't know, personally for me, I never started out in photography. I like literally studied music for my entire life, but I ended up in an industry where I became a really good photographer. And it's nothing to do with the fact that I studied music this entire time. So I think like with practice and experience and just learning different things, you'll be able to do more than if you're just heralded as this like one great person, like, you know, the gifted kid syndrome, like, oh, you're gonna be the best thing, you can do everything that you want to, you're such a gifted child, you know. And then like once you get into the later stages in your life and you are not such a gifted kid because everyone else is learning more things than you, or like they're expanding their abilities and stuff like that, you eventually level out the playing field with like people who are starting to learn more, or people who weren't considered gifted kids and had to learn how to become gifted or learn how to do certain things. But if you were the gifted kid that like basically relies on the fact that you're gifted and think that you can't improve in any other way, or are too fearful to improve in any other way because you fear that once you fail, you'll become not the gifted kid, you know, you'll just become a regular person, then you will slowly start to, you know, not learn as much in life. You won't be able to compete with all these other people that are still willing and trying to learn, you know? I don't know how I got onto the gifted kid syndrome, but that's kind of how I see it. Like, if you put your mind to it, yes, there are always going to be those virtuosos and people who started when they were a kid at learning, like, the arts or music or something like that. But if you don't keep up that practice, then you're just not going to get better at it, you know? You need to fail in order to learn the things that you need to learn. And I think people should be more willing to fail in their life if that means that eventually they'll improve on the thing that they want to improve in.
Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Savannah failed. And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way. Then she'll finally see the error of her ways. Thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm gonna head to the Hotel de Boer and spend the night investigating. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
I am curious if this is gonna go down the treasure hoarder route and she's gonna go like ape shit and just like, I'm gonna go find the drugs, and then surely the drugs are what makes the cooking better or something. I don't know.
Genius? Calling someone a genius is just another way of saying I'm too lazy to figure out how I need to improve.
Yes!
It's a defeatist attitude and I won't stand for it.
Thank you, Escoffier.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Van isn't for a while.
I wanted to check on Escoffier.
Check on her? Why? What happened?
Are you good? Were you trying to perfect recipes?
Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
Oh man, she made so many cakes.
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
Oh my god, me. You really did pull an all-nighter then.
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
Girlie, that's not enough coffee. Let me get you a fresh one.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
What am I gonna do? Go to Cafe Lutece, buy coffee, or submit a dish containing coffee beans optional? Why are both of these optional? I think I have a dish with coffee beans.
Need coffee.
Ooh, I have these. Croissant. Here. Or I could give her Farina's cake. Farina's cake has coffee in it? That makes a lot of sense, actually. Wait, I kind of want to see what happens if I go buy coffee. Like, do you give me different dialogue if I ask to buy coffee?
Hello, what can I get for you?
I need a coffee, stat.
Sure thing, we're here to go.
To go, please. I'm grabbing it for a friend.
Huh? Oh, I see. First cup of the season. Yeah, I get it. Young people these days do love their little surprises.
What does that mean? Not convinced we're on the same page here, but I'm not here to chat. Let's get this coffee to Escoffier. Coffee procured exclusively from Cafe Lutece. The smell alone is enough to sharpen your senses. Make sure to bring this to Escoffier.
Coffee. Need coffee.
Okay, low-key, I could give her this, right? But I kind of want to keep the package. So let me just give you Farina's cake, I guess?
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. Wonderful.
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing because I gave you a cake, but sure.
I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up on your sleep when you get the chance.
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small, I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
And yet, look at this kitchen. It seems like you had your own share of failed experiments last night.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
No.
No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her, only to find an empty house with the doors wide open.
Oh?
I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hôtel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Okay.
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
Modeste, the founder of the Hôtel de Bord, you say she's looking for the missing ingredient that hasn't been revealed all this time.
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bord? Then, this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a gâteau plateau, huh?
Ugh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold on. There's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
Letter of unknown origin. A letter received several months ago. It was you. You let the Lumiline through, didn't you? I know you were responsible for purchasing the problematic ingredients that day. What would your good friend think, I wonder, if she learned that she suffered on account of your negligence? What would the people in the hotel think? So, I imagine you'd like to keep this a secret from Escoffier. Wouldn't you, head chef Savannah? Oh, that's totally Monica. A letter received several weeks ago. Retrieve the real codex by any means necessary. That's where the real treasure can be found, and you gave it away like a fool. Well then, you're gonna get it back, whether in a bet or by force. It doesn't matter. Oh, I know. Don't you have that cooking showdown of yours? And if you don't think you can win, why, you simply need to have your opponents lose. I imagine that assistant of yours might come in handy in that regard. A letter received not long ago. What are you dawdling for? She was the one who concealed the secret recipe in the first place. Why else do you think you've never been able to recreate her work? She's afraid that you will outshine her. What do you imagine everyone says about you, both within and beyond the hotel walls? Ordinary, they called you? Untalented, a hack, a failure who will never surpass Escoffier. And you know whose fault that is? That's right, it's hers. She's no saint, never has been. So why hesitate? Ooh, I swear to God, this is Monica for sure.
It was you. You let the Lumiline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary.
But then why does Monica want the code? I don't understand why this codex is so important other than it's original.
So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
Or Monica forced Savannah because Monica could do the thing that, what was it? Spoilers for ZZZ, by the way. That the person from the, I immediately forgot her name, but you know in ZZZ, when that story that happened with the whole thing with the military and all that in, who was it? It was Trigger's story. If you know Trigger's story, you know exactly what I'm referencing here. I think it was Monica. Or was it the other way around? Meanwhile, somewhere deep beneath the sea.
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
Told y'all. Oh, enter the underwater ruins,
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Ha! I'd like to see you try. But also at the same time, I kind of wish they kept this reveal to be like, I don't know, later? Like, why did they reveal Monica now? I mean, everyone could have pieced it together. Let's be real. It's not that hard to piece together. But why not wait until we're inside the ruin in order to reveal it? Like, according to the notes left by Modeste, this was where the Remurian foreign legionnaires once drank and made merry. But the spirits have vanished into whispers on the wind. A veil of dust sleeps over every glass. Love that we're back in Remuria, though. I would love to walk that. Like, in general, this is so pretty. This feels like an aquarium. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Hi! Oh my god, Blubberbees!
Some Blubberbees have come to join the party? How did they get here?
I don't know, the fucking entrance in the water, my guy. I love them. They're so cute. Wah!
Aw, they ran off.
Guess they're not used to seeing humans. Let's head further in.
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the Blubberbees? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and lumitoile.
We've fed our Blubberbees worse, like random-ass berries from the street, but...
See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There's no time for that. Romaritime flowers and lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be Blubberbees' delicacies.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
Why not? You collect romaritime flowers and lumitoles in the surrounding area. Oh, we're doing the same thing again. Okay, I can chop a bunch of these. Now, what flavors y'all want, Blubberbees? I think I just need cold press, right?
Yeah, a little amuse-bouche.
I have 5. That's really annoying. Do I have a 4? Or you're not gonna give me a 4 because fuck everything. That's a 3. I got a 6 though. Let me do this. Then I can do 3. No, 5. And then I can do a 4. Perfect. I'm curious if this this specific gameplay design thing is for testing
Blubberbees or not.
a different game.
Are we sure this stuff is edible?
It seems fine.
Trust me, they'll love it.
More pertinently, how do we actually feed it to them?
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
Deliver the beast to... Oh, this is like the puzzle, the ink puzzle in, what's it called? In the thingy thing for the, deliver. In the Simulanka. That's the word for it. Rotate. I need one more, buddy. Aqua Whale's too crowded. With what? Oh. If you're not mistaken, something Blubberbeast.
It's really singing. It must taste better than Paimon thought.
Ah, so you were the soprano. Okay, hold on. Rotate this, and then you can... Oh, I have to make another one? You know what? That's fair. Right. I need 6, right? I literally have...
The track...
Sorry. I literally have enough, so... Alright. Why'd you reset it? I'm trying to cook for the Blubberbees, and this is not how this works. Deliver the food. Go! Go! Oh, I can't even get close to it. Will it go under my feet? I kind of stepped on it. The blubber beast happily scarfs down the food. It might look like your imagination, but blah, 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 blah. It doesn't let me read the dialogue.
Hey, it's open!
Can I go in here? Sploosh! Does this go anywhere, actually? I can't dive here. Aw, that kind of sucks. I wanted to go swim with the blubber beast. I'll just collect my chest and compensation. Fine, Jesus. Do we see them anywhere? No? Aw. Oh, there's one out there! Hey! Blubber beast! Did you enjoy the food? Buddy? Hey! Did you like it? I want to know! Hi! I think that's a yes. Oh, she's so cute. I love the blubber beast. I will cry. I'd die for them, actually. Anyone here? Any secrets? Did Modeste leave anything behind? Damn, I can't even break that, bro. Some time ago. Flashback time.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
Okay.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
Why? What is this? Like a display of dominance? Like what?
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog.
I love how her, I don't know, her villain accent is now coming out.
Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives. Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
Oh, ayo.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor.
Oh, so we're even tying this back to Modeste? All right.
He offered Modeste his friendship, only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realized that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Damn!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
For what?
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth. I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
Drama.
But you drank it too.
Yeah, she's totally going to die.
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
Oh, she's got the arms open and wide crazy pose.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know. Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too.
Oh!
A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Oh my god.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life?
Oh my
You got
God.
a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over.
I love how, like, you know, twirl your mustache kind of, like, villain she is. She's fun.
You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, that's a knife.
Stop right there.
Let her go, Monica. We've got you surrounded.
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
Why did you not stab her in the back right then and there? You could have just taken her out, bro.
You can't!
Or,
Stay back if you want her alive!
you know what? That's also a route you can take.
Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry.
Like?
Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad.
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins.
Drugs?
He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix.
I'm sorry, Monica's voice actor is having so much fun. I love her.
We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine.
Huh?
I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Interesting. So that's how they're bringing in the war stuff with Escoffier's backstory. Okay.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
I mean, we been new, but...
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
And so we're just gonna break the entire ruin?
What's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Seems like she escaped in the commotion. Let's find another route and go after her.
Uh-oh. Savannah's gone too.
I mean, yeah, are you surprised?
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
Well, there's one piece of good news. At least Savannah's safer now.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Well, look for a way forward. Sure, that is... Actually, what's your build? You have the weapon. It's always the golden troop set. Okay. That's fine. You're C3? Okay. C3, 10, 13, 10. All right. All right, girly pop. They actually made her C3. That's crazy. Anyway, can you go and do your thing?
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
Are there any secrets? I'm assuming she's like, yeah, you should go dive. What if I just observed this area first?
Yeah.
It's almost, oh. Escoffier, don't get stuck behind there. It's almost like, I feel like someone could just like Zhongli and Scara like TP that way, but that's also an exit. There's no exit over there. It's almost like it was a setup anyway. Okay, I wanted you to dive, but sure, that works. Jellyfish. Oop, I wanted to make a bomb, but sure. Ooh, chest, I'll take that. Excuse me, sorry, trying to take this, bye. That's mine now. One here. Oh, this is another entrance. Whee! Dive headfirst into concrete.
Golems! How are they still mobile?
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. All right, knife skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
Listen, I mean, this is not the first time we've seen the golems, so...
World, come alive!
Oh, I did not want to use Traveler, because Traveler, it will melt everything. Why did you... Nuvi, why did you attack the thing that Escoffier puts down?
Hold that
Bro.
pose.
Sorry, I'm trying to use Escoffier instead I keep switching
A
to
dash of
Traveler.
frosting. Yeah.
Come on, I need your burst, girly pop.
A burst of flavor.
Okay. Sure. Not the worst. One here. Monica! Just Monica. What is this? Barely legible engraving. Follow the exalted harmonious order, and in accordance with our Sebastos' most sacred, most benevolent temper, we establish here as a condolence for the naturalized barbarian soldiers. Savages they may have been, but they were also warriors. With this secret treasure granted graciously, the warriors' bodies' desires are satisfied, and that they might fight on with 100-fold bravery. Okay. It sounds like the whole Phobos thing all over again, so... Was the secret ingredient from Phobos all along? Okay, we are back at a very convenient area.
Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Oh, they look like they're passed the fuck out. All right. Place the ingredients you collected on the table. At least they don't make you collect it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing the chefing part's already enough.
Yeah.
Can I get a 2?
Cha.
Fine. Hold on. Let me put a 4 in. Then I can see I can get a 2 or something.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Give me a 2. Stop giving me 6s. 2. 2.
Yeah.
I get a 1. 6 again? Oh my god, just give me a 2. I can do a 4 and then a 2, I think. 6. 3.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just like, nah. Go 6 and then 4. I will say that these cutscenes are taking a bit of time, which is slightly annoying, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just a little bit. They are taking a lot of time. Can I make stuff as you're doing that? No? Fine. Like, don't get me wrong, I like these puzzles, it's just it's taking a hot second for them to do the thing when we're in a chase scene. The blubber beast wakes up, glumps over, and happily somethings the thingy
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
I'm assuming we might have to do this a third time later, but like... You think I can get a 3 here? Like, the gameplay is not bad and all. It's just super repetitive if you do it a lot. If I do a 4 and then a 1, I think I should be able to do it. 4, 1. Because, like, with all the cutscenes and everything, it just adds up to additional time. And if this is supposed to be like, oh no, we must go after Monica. We have to find out who the actual traitor is. This is really putting a damper on all our plans, bro. Deliver? Go, homie? Oh, there's another waterway. Can I not? Original position. No, it's fine. That goes in here. Oh, did you get reset? Stop. Don't reset, actually. There you go. And then that can... Perfect. Now, don't fucking move. Because it also takes like a little bit of time for it to get to the end as well. Come on, buddy. Although... This is basically just like a sushi cart going, hey!
A little amuse-bouche.
Q jumpers is crazy, but alright.
Let the mighty be humbled.
Excuse me, this is not for you. Thank you. The blubber beast attacks with food and ferocity. It puts even Paimon to shame!
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. All right, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
We know which one. All right, I think that might be the last one then? At least I didn't do a third one, hopefully. I did not mean to open my menu. Anything over here? No. No secrets? Nothing? Okay, fine. Don't let me read anything either. That's kind of ass. But I don't know. At least, hopefully, they're not making us do a whole third section of all this. I can't read the books, damn. Because those took such a long time. So Bros was camping out.
These don't look Grimoirian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
They don't look that worn either. Could they have been left by previous adventurers?
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
Why would they just leave behind their shit, though?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Let's rummage around. They may have left a journal or something.
Huh, you really think so?
Yeah, the whole thing was found by journals. You don't think they'd leave behind more papers?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Well, I'm a pro at least.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
And bingo, found it.
Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
You can still rummage. I've just already found the thing that we need to find.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling?
Allegedly.
I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone. just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong?
Well, maybe he wanted to, hang out with you. It's just that he has been busy,
I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake?
So one of them was definitely more the adventure than the other. Okay.
Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Gateau de Boer.
Why was that so amplified and bass boosted for no reason?
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
I don't think he did. He just sounded sad that he died and he can never, talk with him again. Let's keep reading.
The taste of Gateau de Boer has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses?
Yep.
But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life.
Ooh.
And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him?
Because people want to write a story.
Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
I mean, probably Savelli, because he saw what happened with Modeste, and he was just like, I don't want other people to experience this.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gateau de Boer, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh no, we gotta stop Monica.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
I mean, it just sounds like the Lumitol thing that they were talking about before as well, so... Barely legible engraving. The barbarians who take the are gradually losing part of. There is no cause for worry. The desire to break free from the forms of flesh and blood is also the first step to guiding them towards accepting civilization. So it was like process in order to make them become the Kolos. I'm kind of happy they're bringing in the stuff from Remuria in here, just because, like, I don't know how many people would have done the Remuria World Quest to know about the golems and what they did. Ah, this looks like a final boss room. Bro seems like they died.
The treasure of Remuria. I have found you at last.
That's a very pristine bottle that doesn't look like has been lasting for thousands of years.
Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations.
So, what does that prove then? Like, Savelli did it out of mercy for Modeste. Like, are you trying to ruin his reputation? Like, I don't understand what the motivation is for you.
But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remuria is mine!
Okay, and what? You sell it to the treasure hoarders and make a quick buck, and then what? Like, that's it. That's all you can really do. That golem is also totally gonna kill you, though.
It's empty. It's empty!
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
Unless he missed some, and that can always happen.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth, all my painstaking planning, all that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Yeah, considering there's like 3 billion golems around us. She's gonna do something stupid.
Your pie hole!
Oh. Well, there we go.
Praise be to Lord Remus.
Okay, listen, Rebus is also dead, so you can shut up.
You barbarian shall be slain.
Oh?
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else.
So did she die?
Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out.
Sure, and I will also take pictures with Charlotte. Because I feel like that's the easiest thing we can do.
Hard-hitting exclusive.
You know what, maybe it was a good idea to bring Charlotte this time around. I was just like, newbie team, but...
Silence!
This also works. Is Savannah okay, though? Oh, well, that seems fun.
Why is this place still shaking?
It's almost like it's a ruin. Maybe it's because of the fighting or because Monica was too trigger-happy with her explosives. She's clean now.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
Huh?
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, she's got a gun.
If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
What is your problem, girly pop?
You're a psycho.
Oh, she got stabbed. I guess?
Savannah?
Oh, when did you wake up? I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
All right, can we stop having the revelation moments and get out of here because the place is about to collapse? We need to go. We're out of time.
Traveler? Okay, let's go.
Are we gonna? Okay, we're just gonna ditch Monica. All right, she's dead. She's totally not gonna be out of here. All right. 07 Monica, goodbye. Have fun. Like, I guess this is what your life's work has led up to, and have fun with that. Like, all right. Bro's dead.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
Venejem! What are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres while the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
I'm sorry, Mary Derrieres is so funny to me. I don't know why.
We had to do something, even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
You could have called the police, bro.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed.
And we totally killed Monica, by the way.
Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Yep.
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left, and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
I'm sorry, this feels so Aesop Fables to me. It's just like, and at the end of the day, what did we learn today, kids?
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmont and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Oh?
Firmont? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Oh?
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumiline the whole time.
Oh!
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects.
Okay.
A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that mean more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
You're already sounding a lot more confident.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's more. We believe that Firma was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time.
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I appreciate her calling this out because, like, you could honestly write it off as just like, oh, the drugs were the reason why they had shit behavior. But at the same time, it's just like, some people are just assholes. Some people just have bad days and, like, crash out on people. Like, I'm glad that they're taking the time to be like, hey, can't blame everything on the drugs, bro.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
Not the flick.
What?
Is that it?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night?
It's almost like you should talk to people and ask other people, like, hey, can you look over my work? And more eyes on it will help you be able to figure out the problem?
It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth.
Girl, that is
You're
not
a
the lesson you
genius.
should be taking from this.
And I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what? 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Ha ha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hôtel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
And look how very dead Monica is probably floating in the water right now.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Yeah, it's nice. Maybe not all of their beef. Like, I think Savannah should still, like, take responsibility for how she's been acting the entire time. Like, yes, like, part of it is the drug and all that. But also, she's gonna have to, like, right the wrongs with all the employees, and it's not up to Savannah to be like, oh, everything is fine again because I apologize and everything's okay. That's not how that works. It depends on the employees. If the employees are just like, well, you treated me like shit and I want compensation, I think the employees should have that compensation.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
So we gotta redo it again.
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
And also, we left someone to die in that death trap.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between two top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today. Right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
Are you surprised?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I love ice water. Oh, is Paimon our assistant? Okay. Did you add onions to your fucking cake? Wait, are we making a cake? What are we making? What are we making? We are making. Why did you add onions in there? Girl, I need you to explain why you had onions in there. What is this food war shit that's happening right now? Ooh, they changed the animation styles for her. Okay. It's gonna be the same.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Oh, the imposter syndrome.
What
Come
are
on.
you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like
I
it's
like
easier
this
said than done.
scene.
I'll do it.
That's really cute. It changes the whole meaning of her, like, saying, like, Monica specifically saying, like, oh, you're a, forgot his name, but the
results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
like, Salvatore, I think is the name. I totally immediately forgot it. And Savannah denying it, being like, no, I'd never be like him. And then in the end, she's kind of accepted it. And it's like, oh, that's really cute. I'm not even gonna lie.
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Ha, 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 ha. Very funny. Her tail seems very happy with the results.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
This wasn't for you, was it? You did this for Savannah's sake. Uh-huh.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
All right. What are your future plans? Are you going to stay at the Fleur Cassandra?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities.
Shogling mentioned, okay.
She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails, With her, nothing's off the table.
Including eating a species to extinction, but okay.
There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
But you're totally cool with Xiangling's version of the cooking? Okay, well, I'm always down to be your taste tester. You should definitely make Paimon test all of your experimental dishes.
Hey!
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research, make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bourg revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
Thank you! Wait, that's kind of nice.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Bourg?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Banishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Good luck to Savannah, I guess.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Bourg. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary, then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Bourg. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
And she died for it. She sold her soul for a dream and had a rude awakening. Her life's work became a grand exercise in futility, which is crazy considering that the entire, whole story quest is very much just like, if you keep working hard at it, eventually you'll come to the realization that you'll be able to do the thing that you want to do. But then the other half of this is like Monica was doing all the same things and keep trying to figure out the pieces in order to piece together this mystery with Modeste and Savelli. She ended up dying for it and never actually being able to achieve her goal. I mean, also it was for revenge reasons, which I don't know if they were just like, oh, because of the reasoning, that's why she failed. But her life's work became a grand exercise in futility is crazy to me.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Bourg?
They didn't know it was dangerous to them.
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
She got exactly what she deserved. I don't know if she was supposed to die at the end of this, maybe get arrested, but sure. Yes, Paimon, poor Monica.
Huh, hey!
Hi, Navia!
Huh? Navia?
You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria, a magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
The one that we broke on the floor?
Wait, isn't that the the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Well, good thing I brought Charlotte down there, I guess, for reporter reasons. Ooh, and we get the recipe too. Let's cook this thing. Don't ask me why I went all the way to Natlan to go and cook something, but I couldn't find the thing, so leave me alone. A petite version of the famous gâteau de bourg, a velvety sauce like elusive silk slipping between your fingers and alighting on your tongue, while the gentle melodies of afternoon tea circle in the air, enchanting your heart. Perhaps this little treat will appear before you again in your dreams tonight. That's kind of cute! I'm not even gonna lie to you! And it uses romaritime flour, which is just crazy. Is the romaritime flowers the chocolate? That's kind of crazy. Anyway, overall, in the story, it was a very good beginning to end. Like, I still have the issue of Genshin constantly doing the thing where it tells you things and doesn't show you, like, specifically in the beginning. Like, the beginning part, I think, was the worst part for me, just because of how they're just like, oh yeah, these things and these things happen, this and this happened. As much as I want to say that it was because they had to establish everything with Escoffier and then the Hotel de Bourg, all that stuff like that, it was kind of so heavy-handed in the beginning to where just like, okay, you're just spitting information at me. I need you to slow down and kind of just like guide me through this. Kind of just like, you don't have to tell me all this information. We can just experience the story along with you. But that's just a general Genshin writing thing that I have an issue with every time they do a story quest. The IRL inspiration, they took a lot less than I thought they would. Like, they had the hotel stuff, they had her getting kicked out of the hotel, but for an entirely different reason. I don't entirely know if the Savelli and Mode thing is supposed to be a reference to Mozart and Salieri, which those two are like super competitive composers, so I don't know if it's based on that just because this is all cooking stuff. But it low-key reminded me of that. I don't know if that was the inspiration or not, but I don't know. It was very interesting how much of the real life stuff they pulled. I am just really surprised it didn't reference any other chefs besides Gordon Ramsay, obviously because of her temper, and Escoffier because that's what her name is based off of. Maybe I'm missing it because I'm not super in the celebrity cooking space and I don't know too much of it. I only know like the very like big names like Julia Child and like Bobby Flay and all these other people. So maybe there are references that I'm missing, but otherwise, I think it was an interesting story quest. It existed. It was a good time while we were here. I don't know why Monica had to die and we just left her alone, but you know, that's what happens with villains in Genshin, I guess. Will she come back? Who knows? I love that Navia comes back and is just like, oh yeah, they found this like old pot thing, but too bad someone dropped it and they totally didn't find a dead body or whatever. So I don't know, maybe she'll come back. I highly doubt it, but she just seems like an NPC. I love Monica's voice actor though, whoever that is. Chef's kiss. Loved her performance. Amazing. I did like it though. I like when Escoffier was the one that was speaking specifically. Like the entire time, like you had this idea of Escoffier being like this mean character, and then she kind of reveals like she's not Gordon Ramsay from Hell's Kitchen. She's Gordon Ramsay whenever there's like a kid show that's happening, and like she's much nicer to employees than like you might expect from her when we first initially meet her, which is honestly a nice contrast. Love the voice actor. Wish they actually kept the original accent for her. I think like just looking at her other roles, like I'm assuming this is like a direction thing, but her trying to hide her accent definitely took me out of the performance half the time because I was just like, okay, I know you have a Scottish accent, and it slips out a few times during the story, which is not a bad thing. It's just like for consistency's sake, it takes me out of it, but at the same time, you can definitely tell she was trying to focus on the accent itself over acting sometimes. Like, I think she does the best in the ending sections when she's actually pissed off and like her accent fully comes out, but that's when she's fully emoting, you know? I genuinely wish Hoya would just let her have her accent and like I think she can do so much more with it. I like the fact that like one of the reveals was that Xiangling was the reason that Escoffier was just like, yeah, I think I'm bored with being in this hotel. I want to just like travel. I want to see the world. And honestly, that's so valid of her. I really like her for that instance. Like character-wise, I think she's just really interesting. But unfortunately, I feel like she's gonna end up in the same vein as Chiori with me, where like these are like very, very skilled people in their craft. They're doing their own thing, but then rest of the story-wise, like they are not really as involved unless that one specific thing comes up. I do hope we get to see her again in an event, and I do believe she's gonna appear in this upcoming event that's happening in this patch. So I guess we'll see what's happening with her there.